boom, we are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is, of course, your boy, Nolan Hawkeye Anthony here, and I hope you guys are having a fantastic Saturday, wherever you may be, and of course, however you may be listening. What a game, what a game, what a game, what a game. The Iowa Hawkeyes took on the Indiana Hoosiers in a semifinal matchup today and prevailed 80-77 on it wouldn't be called a last-second shot, but a game-winning shot ultimately by Jordan Bohannon. And the only way to properly do this is to just get into it right off the bat, no messing around, no goofing around, getting into this amazing game. It was absolutely one for the ages. So listen, folks, this game went back and forth, and back and forth. The Iowa Hawkeyes started the game quite slow. They were not hitting shots. Well, Indiana was imposing their will on the Iowa Hawkeyes. Then Iowa substituted Joe Toussaint, Chris Murray, even Peyton Sandfort gave some nice production, solid defense. He hit a three-point shot in the corner, and it was the much-needed change of pace that the Iowa Hawkeyes ultimately needed. And they eventually took the lead in the first half. Unfortunately, Iowa had some substitutions. They went back to kind of their starting lineup. But I have to make this point. Had it not been for Keegan, Joe, and Chris, and this is why I love this Iowa team. This is why this is one of my favorite Iowa teams ever, because from top to bottom, it's guys that can give you high impact on any given day. It truly doesn't matter. Anybody can pick up the slack on this Iowa team. And Keegan Murray, Chris Murray, and Joe Toussaint were those guys. Joe Toussaint was killing it on defense, got forced some turnovers from Indiana and did well. Jordan Bohannon, and I'm not trying to compare Joe Toussaint to Jordan Bohannon here, but it's just the the next person to talk about here on the list. Jordan Bohannon, he was struggling a little bit. He had some turnovers. And he is what he is defensively, but he also, hit a few three-point shots. So it was kind of a give and take. Ultimately, he is the reason, or one of the main reasons, the Hawkeyes prevailed in the end. But it was back and forth, and Indiana. So Indiana had the momentum at the beginning. Then it was Iowa in the middle of the first half, and then it was Indiana to close the end of the first half. We get into the second half action, and again, back and forth. And to be honest, neither team really had momentum. But the key aspect of this game is Iowa just kept hanging around. They kept hanging around. It was almost as though Iowa was begging Indiana to expand the lead greatly, but Iowa just kept hanging around and taking punches. And let's see when they took the lead back. Approximately, the game was tied at 2:09, and Iowa took the lead. Let's see here. With a big three-point shot. Keegan Murray hit I believe it was Keegan Murray who hit the three-point shot, and then Jabo hit another three-point shot, but they took the lead with 1:53 remaining in the game. Guys, there's no way around it. This game was absolutely incredible from beginning to end. I have to give credit to Indiana. They battled. I think they are a decent team. and they might be somewhat dangerous if they can keep this momentum, keep this form going into the NCAA tournament. But this is not an Indiana Hoosiers channel. This is an Iowa Hawkeye channel, and the Iowa Hawkeyes obviously will be playing in the Big Ten chip. Let's take a look at some of the team stats here. The Iowa Hawkeyes shot 45.9% from the field. Indiana shot 47. Let me move my computer here. 3-point percentage, largely on the back of Keegan Murray, who had an excellent three-point shooting game. Iowa shot 43.8% compared to Indiana's 26.3%. And that was a big aspect of this game. Indiana was torching Iowa on the inside. They had no answer for Trace Jackson Davis, who is likely an NBA player. They had no answer for him. By the way, Trace Jackson Davis had Iowa as one of his finalist schools, but ultimately he chose Indiana. Iowa had zero answer for him, and ultimately Iowa decided to pack it in and stop him when they could, but they risked that at giving up the three. But Indiana could not knock it down from deep. They could not hit anything consistently from deep as Iowa packed it in and made it a little bit more stressful for Indiana to get the ball on the inside. Indiana did end up winning the rebound battle by 6 rebounds, 36-30, which is, it is somewhat surprising that Iowa was able to still pull it out given that fact. But it is what it is. It's not as though it was a terribly disparaging rebounding thing. By the way, side note here, the announcers, man, were they absolutely on Indiana's NUT sack. Unbelievable. Every 50-50, every charge, whatever, they were always on Indiana's side. They were so biased in this game. It was starting to get so frustrating. I had to turn them off, but it is what it is. Indiana is considered a blue blood program, so that is to be expected. Iowa had 11 turnovers compared to Indiana's 10. Here is a look at Iowa's box score here. And, another aspect to this game that made it incredible was the Keegan Murray versus versus Trace Jackson Davis matchup. That was fun to watch. Patrick McCaffrey had a quiet, in my opinion, very quiet 16 points. He struggled at times, but still putting in 16 points was very helpful for the Hawkeyes. Keegan Murray ended with 32 points and 9 rebounds. Keegan Murray is by far the Big Ten Player of the Year. And to me, it's not even close. He is so obviously the most talented player in the Big Ten. He's had the best statistical year in the Big Ten, and Iowa is on the verge of winning a Big Ten tournament championship. Sure, they did not win the Big Ten regular season title, but they were no scrubs. They were not scrubs. So I think Keegan Murray is landslide, far and away, the Big Ten Player of the Year. But of course, I am biased. Jordan Bohannon chipped in 12 points. And Tony Perkins, who nearly gave the game to Indiana by having now it's time to get into the final 2 minutes. Iowa hit some major shots, 3-point shots. Keegan Murray had a huge offensive rebound, which gave Iowa another shot. Another shot, taking another shot. And it was, I believe it was 73-71 or 72-70. I can't, whatever the score was, Iowa was up by 2. And Indiana applied some pressure, and Tony Perkins went behind the back and lost it. Indiana scored like that, and the game was tied. It was, I believe, 77 to 75. Yeah, 77 to 75. And the game was tied. Jordan Bohannon, who had 12 points. Let's talk about the final possession. I have said earlier in the year, at least twice, that it makes zero sense to me. And honestly, I still feel this way. It makes zero sense to me why Keegan Murray, a future lottery pick, is not the guy taking the final shot for the Iowa Hawkeyes. I understand Jordan Bohannon's history, and I even understand the shot that he knocked down today. I got it. I got it. All, you could say that the evidence is to the contrary of what I am saying right now. But that final possession, if we are being honest, was very stagnant. Tony Perkins held on to the ball, and it was very stagnant. Not a lot of movement. Iowa, of course, was trying to burn and run some clock, not giving Indiana a ton of time to win the game in regulation. And that was what it was. But it was very stagnant. And let's be honest, Jordan Bohannon's shot ended up being kind of a heave, kind of a prayer. Now, he made it, and I am grateful to the good Lord above, and I'm grateful to Jordan for that. But that does not change the fact that that was a prayer. It was a broken play. Iowa absolutely almost coughed it up and totally burned that final possession. So it worked out in the end, but it absolutely could have gone better. Now, all of you are going to say, Nolan, who cares? He still made it. I'm with you. I understand. But I still do believe that Keegan should be the one taking the final shot. And I think that it is important to note that more or less the final shot was a heave. And it is what it is. But either way, great shot. I'm happy either way. And that is what it is. But I try and be as honest with you good Iowa Hawkeye folks and fans as I can in giving you my takes. So Jordan Bohannon had 12, Tony Perkins with 8. Let's see here. Chris Murray with 5 points and Joe Toussaint with 4 points. So we're going to see who the Iowa Hawkeyes are going to play next, or possibly going to play next. And I'm going to let you guys know how I think this affects Iowa's NCAA tournament seed. So Iowa, of course, will play the winner of Michigan State and Purdue. I think it's a toss-up. Michigan State provides it's a toss-up as to who I would prefer to play. Michigan State is usually a pretty strong team towards the end of seasons under Tom Izzo. And Iowa beat them earlier this season pretty convincingly. To be honest, I would probably pick Michigan State as the team I would rather have Iowa play against in the championship. Purdue is a tough matchup for the Iowa Hawkeyes, and the Iowa Hawkeyes were not able to defeat Purdue in the regular season. By the way, it is also important to note that this is, I believe, the second, maybe even the third time Jabo has sunk Indiana in the final moments of Iowa versus Indiana, while Jordan Bohannon has been an Iowa Hawkeye. Now, what does this mean for the NCAA tournament? Well, or Iowa seed in the NCAA tournament? Well, Iowa, of course, is 14th in the KenPom. They have jumped, or excuse me, the net rankings. They have jumped Illinois. And I would say the consistent projected seed line for the Iowa Hawkeyes is a 6 seed. And I got to tell you, that just doesn't really make sense to me. In two of the most important metrics, Iowa is a top 15 team in the KenPom and the net rankings. More specifically, the net rankings, which a top 15 would be 4, 8, 12, 16. That would make Iowa a top 16 seed if, they are to stay where they are at. A top 4 seed, one of the top 16 teams in the country. So these 2 wins or 3 wins that the Iowa Hawkeyes have picked up, Indiana, Northwestern, and Rutgers, are all great wins. By the way, absolutely impressive that Iowa has won 25 games this season. As I've said, this is one of, if not the favorite team of mine in Iowa basketball history. I love this team to death. They are so fun to watch. They really, really are. And I have enjoyed this team from beginning to end. So let's take a look at what net rankings, or excuse me, quadrant, what quadrant these wins will go under. So let me take a gander there and provide you with a little bit of an update. I believe the Rutgers victory and the Northwestern victory will go down as quad 2 victories, as Rutgers is net ranking of a 78 and Northwestern 91. The Indiana victory, I would guess that it would be a quad 2 victory, but I will need to look at that a little further. There it is. Indiana will go down as a quad 1 victory, as they are 38th in the net rankings. If you beat a team on a neutral site with a ranking of 26 to 50, that is a quad 1 victory. So Iowa, in the course of this tournament, has picked up 2 quad 2 victories and a quad 1 victory. I don't think you could ask for a better resume booster, in my opinion. If they can pick up even another one, that would be huge. So ultimately, what does this mean? Well, in my opinion, I think that this, if we go by the projected 6 seed, I think it is almost a guarantee that Iowa jumps another seed. And considering how hot Iowa has been since the month of February, if the selection committee puts that in, or takes that into account, I wouldn't be shocked if Iowa climbs up to a 4 seed. I would max their jump out at a 3 seed. I think that is the highest they could go, is a 3 seed, but I would not be surprised if they can go all the way to a 4 seed. I would say definitely right now they are probably a 5 seed. So that is my take. Again, let me run through it. I think after this, that the middle ground is a 5 seed, that Iowa has jumped up to a 5 seed. I wouldn't be surprised, especially if they win the Big Ten tournament tomorrow, that they jump up to a 3 seed. That is the maximum, in my opinion. So Iowa is likely in the 4 to 5 seed range after picking up a quad 1 victory and 2 quadrant 2 victories. All right, guys, what a game, what a game, what a game. Thank you guys so much for hanging with me. What, a crazy ending, back and forth game. This is what makes college hoops so amazing to be a part of and watch. Being an Iowa Hawkeye fan these last couple of years has been incredible. And I think it's important for Iowa fans to take stock of the consistency Fran McCaffery has this Iowa basketball team in churning out 20-win seasons. Fran McCaffery basically has Iowa as a top 5, maybe even top 4 Big Ten basketball program at the moment. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to smash that subscribe button because, well, subscribing makes you feel good. At the very least, like, comment, share. I will put the PayPal link in the description if you want to help your boy out with some coffee money, some coffee change. That would be much appreciated. Of course, be sure to follow me on Twitter at 247Hawkeye, and I will see you guys next time. 247Hawkeye.com. Last but not least, DBAP, don't be a pussy willow, and facts or feelings, because feelings don't matter. Love y'all. See you guys next time. Go Hawks. Bye.